Welcome back to RCJetsUSA. Today we are going to talk about this beautiful jet, F-18 Blue Angels from Freewing. This jet is really good actually because it's built on very strong form and the color is awesome. It's look like the full-scale version, a lot of similarities. Also, this has a very good landing gear set, so it absorbs the shock very well, even the main landing gear. The one that I like the most is the design of the doors. It's actually, there's no servos anymore. It just, when the wheel goes in, it's automatically push the door and close it. Both front and the main landing gears are like that. I had another jet had the same thing, Scorpion FMS. They have adapted the same philosophy here, which is very good. It saves energy and also less weight. So I really like about it. I have been flying this jet few times now. It's very easy to take off within very short distance, and maneuverability is very good, excellent actually. You can do all the aerobatics, and it's excellent flyer. So let me show you a clip, then you know what I'm talking about. So this video is about good, bad and ugly. So I'm going to show you all the good stuff that this can do before we go into other things. Let's look at the video first.
Motors armed. Gear up.
Landing. Landing.
Hope you liked the video you have seen. As you could see, it flies very well and you can do all the stunts and go inverted and loops and everything perfectly. So that's what I love about this jet. I'm going to show you another clip that how effectively this jet can glide. So I actually had a situation, so I had to glide without power across the flying field. It's a long distance without having to do anything crazy. So, and it was a soft landing as well. So let me show you that clip and then explain what happened with the power. In the clip, you have seen how far it could glide without power effectively, without doing anything odd to save your jet. Actually, it's landed perfectly on a bush, dead bush, and surprisingly, I did not have any scratches in the main wings or even the elevators. It hasn't even touched, surprisingly. So no scratches, nothing to repair. So basically it did not even skid on the ground. It just landed on a dead grass kind of a place. So lucky me. So that's about it. The reason for me to have that situation is that I had a accident with another jet earlier. I used the same ESC that was kind of had a loose wire. The middle wire came off at that incident, and then I soldered it. So I did not do a very good job with that because I was afraid to heat to solder it because it might affect the circuit. So I soldered it. At that point it was strong enough, but for some reason it came off. So it was kind of nothing to do with the jet. Basically it was the used damaged ESC that I had before. So I got it soldered again. In case you are wondering how to solder the ESC to one of the cables that built into the ESC itself. So it's very hard to do that because it is on a copper plate and it does not like soldering that much. So you have to heat it up to, I actually had to go up to 750 Fahrenheit to heat it up after cleaning intensively, and then holding it for about 30 seconds to the bond both the cable and the copper plate. So that's how I got it done. So this time I checked very hard. I can't remove it anymore. So now I'm using it again. So far so good. Obviously you have seen a lot of videos about this jet on YouTube. Before I purchased the jet, I watched most of them. So there are a few information that I would have had before I did my maiden flight, but I just want to make sure that I give that information to you guys. If you are planning to buy a jet, or if you already purchased and waiting to go for the first flight, please continue to watch, because information that I'm going to give you next is very important. So you have seen the good stuff already. So let's move on to the other section. What are the bad stuff? So these are the things you have to be watchful. And this jet has the tendency that it cannot slow down. So I initially had some other issues. I'll explain that later. I'm going to show you a video now that shows even without the power, when you try to land with alpha, high alpha, it tends to take off again. So the clip that we are going to see, you can see it's happening 3 times. It's not actually bouncing, it just tries to take off even at that speed. It's not that fast. So, but I think it's lighter version. So because of that and the aerodynamics of the jet, it's tend to go off again. So let's look at the video. As you could see in that video, in addition to not being able to slow down, it tends to tilt to a side and hit the main wings. That's why I use these missiles that help you to save the main wings, because it hits first and then come back. So every time when I try to take off or land, it happens, like without even crosswind or anything, it just happened. I think it's because of the narrow gap between these two main wheels. It's very narrow, so it's not agile enough. so that I tend to do that. The other thing that I did not like is the control unit is somewhere here. It's very hard to reach if you want to do anything there. So let me show you a close-up. As you could see, it's very hard to see. So, and I did not like that because actually they can come forward. I don't know why they have gone so far. That's kind of bugs me. The other thing, when you fly this jet, both sides having blue color, it's kind of dark when you go up. So there's a tendency that if you go inverted, you might accidentally not see whether you are inverted or not. It's hard to say because while I was flying, most of the people behind me was complaining about it. They told me like, I can't tell whether it is upside or down, it's very difficult to say. So you have to have eye on that. So make sure you do all those stuff close to you, because if you go further, unless you have a gyro that you can balance automatically, level automatically, so it will be scary. When it goes up, it's all dark. You don't see which side is up, which side is down. So be mindful of that when you do aerobatics. I have seen a lot of videos that some people mention that you have plenty of space within the battery compartment. I just want to show you, this is one of my 5000 series battery. So I'm going to put that in and show you the space. So as you can see, it is not that big. So it's not very roomy, but it's not a bad thing. But since some people have mentioned that you can go up to any larger battery, no, you can't. So it's the size of any 6S batteries, but I have bigger batteries that can fit into this, and also you can't have two batteries at all. So it's only one battery. So you can't upgrade this to have 12S or anything like that. But I have seen videos, somebody was saying that, but I'm not sure how, because this does not have room for that. Just wanted to bring that up because I have seen that information, which is kind of wrong. Now that we have seen good stuff, bad stuff, I'm planning to move on to the last section, which is the ugly stuff. So this is really ugly. No, not really. So, but you have to be mindful of this definitely before you go and fly. I already connected the jet to my battery and the remote. Just want to show you something cool as well. This is not the ugly one. This is my own afterburner, my own design. So if you guys want to know how to do that, let me know. It's really bright. Yeah, so that is running. So the ugly stuff. So what I'm going to show you is the flaps. Flaps are a bit crazy in this jet. To start with, I believe flaps are too big for this jet the way they have designed it. Just to do a comparison, I have a larger jet, actually FMS Scorpion. If you guys have seen me flying that in my other videos, the size of the main wing of this jet is about 11 inch. So this is without the portion of the flap. Flap is only 2.5 inches, 11 to 2.5 inches. Let's look at our Blue Angel. Our main wing is about 10 inches. The flap size is 4 inches, 3.5 inches. So proportionally, it is too big. So what happened is, when you put the flaps, and if you successfully put the flaps down, there's another issue that I'm going to explain later. So jet cannot handle it. It just become very unstable. With gyro, I have installed a gyro here. With gyro even, it's try to correct what is happening with these tiny little ailerons compared to the flap. It is about 1/3 of the size of the flap, so which is not really doing well. So I'm going to show you a clip that is out of my maiden flight, which I did not know. I put the flaps, the nose went up. It's not like high alpha, it went up further. So I had to immediately bring flaps up again, and by the time I kind of almost lost the battery power, so I had to land a bit heavily. Let's look at the clip now. Some or other, thanks to the solid form and perfect gear, landing gear, nothing happened to the jet. When I had that rough landing, it was a good punch. So I'm going to show you what's wrong with the flaps. There are two issues. The major issue that you may not be able to figure out until you get into a situation. So if you can see the flap this side right now, let me try to angle it a little bit, so then you get a good view of both. As you can see, that flap going down slower than the other one, and also it's a bit shaky. It goes like braking by itself. This was like that from the day one. So I did not think of that seriously until something happened. What happened is, when you put the flaps, one goes down faster than the other, so you get a situation where it tends to go to a side. So what I did was to overcome that without replacing the servos, which I could do. That means I had to rip off all the stickers and everything, so that's another project. So what I did was I increased the speed of the servo coming down. So that kind of eliminated that issue. So it's now coming faster. So it will be like within few seconds, I know I can fix it, I can correct it, but you have to be mindful of that. That's one issue. Servos are not going at the same speed, so the balance is not correct. So you can overcome that, making it faster, so that whatever it is going faster. This kind of manufacturer's issue. When the flap goes down, it goes and gets stuck in the body frame. So if that happens and one goes further down, the other one gets stuck somewhere in the middle, you are doomed. So you have to be careful not to go all the way down. So there are two solutions for that. What I did was, I'm not going all the way down. Now I'm stopping before it touched that place. I'll show you where it is in a close-up. And or what you can do is, without damaging the flap, you can move that piece, that touching within the fuselage, cut it off so that it will go smoothly. So those are the two solutions. So let me see whether I can give you a close-up of that. But in my case, it won't touch because I'm stopping before that. Yeah, so you can see it now. So it's somewhere here, it's touching the corner edge. So the thing is, when you are in an emergency, if you want to get out of the flaps, and if it gets stuck there, you have a situation. So be mindful of that before you are made in flight. So that's about it. Those are the good, bad and ugly about this jet. So I'm still trying to learn how to deal with this jet, but it's good. I love it. And if you are planning to buy one, this is not stopping you doing that, because this is a good jet to own, and I love it, to be honest. I like challenges, so I'm going to overcome all the issues that they had. But as I said, it was rough initially, but I kind of loving it right now. So I will post some more videos of this jet. If I come up with something else, I'll make sure that I'll notify you guys. The whole idea of giving this information to you is to protect your investment, and you have this knowledge before you go and do the maiden flight. So I hope you have a good flying experience with this jet if you have one. So stay tuned. Talk to you soon. Thank you.